Hi guys, I'm Katie Room from Periapsis Press, and this is my husband David.
Hello.
You actually have the camera, my love.
Hello.
And we are going to be doing a couple of smaller sets alongside one another. And I put in the description the wrong. Woo!
Just close the tab.
Mute site. There we go.
And unmute yourself now because we've got to be able to hear.
Yep. There.
Okay.
That was my bad, guys. Sorry. Hey, Guilty Gearhead. Thank you for coming.
All right.
Yeah. So the Batmobile that is in the description is the wrong Batmobile.
Yeah, I got that one for Christmas, but this one I got for my birthday a year and a half ago. So this one needs to be built first.
It's a belated assembly.
Yep. I've been hauling it whenever we go out of town. I like to visit my parents or Katie's parents. I bring a box of stuff to do, and I hauled this thing back and forth for like a year in that box, but I always had other stuff to do, so I never got to it. But we'll do it now.
And I will be doing Tranquil Garden, which is a bit bigger than his, but he'll have a couple to do.
Yeah, I may or may not get through this whole set today. We'll see.
Right. Well, we'll see how far we get. Hi, Michael Caine. And Jeff Park.
So that's like an old school Batmobile. I can tell from the Joker minifigure. He looks like the 1960s.
Yeah.
I forget the actor's name, but I know he's amongst the Batman fans. He's one of the favorites.
Yeah, so I don't have a ton of Lego Batman stuff. I do have kind of a collection of Batmobiles though. So this is their Dark Knight Tumbler minifigure scale set, which my son actually he friggin' broke the rear axle, like literally actually broke,
snapped the
piece, which is a bummer. Luckily,
it's gonna
like,
have to trade him in.
Yeah, it's like a 2-cent piece, so it's not a huge deal. We should bring this closer.
Yeah.
We can. But this is a really great set, and then I have a Batman Penguin car from the Lego Batman movie, which is a really cool set. So now and then for Christmas I got the 1989 Batmobile. So when we're done here, we're gonna have a really nice little Batmobile collection from the different movies and eras. This is the classic TV show era.
Jeff Park says, my brother and I just took 8 kids to Legoland, and I talked about your chill streams and got them all excited to watch. Hi, Tim Allen. He says George Romero played Joker in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
Mechanical Frog, how did I get here? I'm not good with computers. This isn't the 371st Biannual Sheep Wranglers Collective Awards show, is it?
It might be.
It might.
We get talking for long enough. Who knows what happens?
Actually got to see. I'm a city, not city, but like enough in town to not be a country girl, and so got to see sheep herding like a couple of years ago now for the first time with sheepdogs. Wow, that's cool. As long as we're talking about sheep and sheep wrangling.
So Tim Allen is really, really old. As it turns out.
I've seen some of it. I've seen a couple episodes. It's a fun show. I like this recurring gag that they do where Batman and Robin are he shoots the bat hook up onto a building and they're shimmying up a building, right? But you could tell that they're walking normally on a
Yeah.
regular floor set that's just has the facade of a building, and then they've tilted the footage to make it look like they're ascending, and it's great. And like there's a recurring gag where every time it's like someone leans out an apartment window to yell at them.
That show is really funny. I haven't seen a ton of it, but I like how it kind of leans into the humorous aspects of things. So for people who aren't super familiar with Lego, we always talk on the show when we're building a big set about how the experience of building a big set is kind of different from the smaller sets.
Mm-hmm.
So there were how many bags in Rivendell? Like 50?
56?
56 or something. So this little Batmobile is like a $30 set, and it has 3 bags.
This one has 11,
Mm-hmm.
and they put number 1 at the very bottom. So
Yeah.
I apologize, guys.
But
Or
you-
I opened the wrong end.
But you can just see how there's just not that many big pieces in the set either. They're all kind of small, which I like. I like these little intricate vehicles a lot, but it's just a very different experience building a small set versus a big set.
Yeah,
I have
and
to.
I was just gonna say mine was like a $150 set.
No, it was like 100.
100. Okay.
100 or 110.
I was just gonna say I had that the Rivendell turned out really well.
Yeah.
Like
I
that is a fine looking,
show my junk over on the other side there.
Yeah.
magnificent.
Somebody asked me on Twitter if we were gonna get the LED set to put in it, and I looked at them online. They look cool, but I guess I'm not. I don't feel that it needs it, you know. Jeff Park says, "I make my sheep lay down by still waters. Streams can be dangerous." Michael Caine says, "Biggest I've done is 18 bags, I think."
Yeah.
Yeah, Rivendell was definitely the biggest for me that I'd ever done.
Yeah, it was probably about 50% bigger than the previous biggest one that we'd done, which was that pirate set.
So here's something fun. Lego is doing is transitioning to paper bags instead of plastic, so that it'll be more sustainable, right? That's the idea. But I think that's pretty cool because we always have a ton of bags at the end.
And with Lego, you don't need to. They've never really been generally marketed in things where you can see the inside.
Right.
They used to do that sometimes, where you'd like open up the top and you'd see some of the pieces inside, but it's not something that's done anymore. So there's no reason for them to be in plastic bags.
Yeah, this is a good packaging decision as opposed to action figures, where that was a poor marketing decision.
Which Hasbro actually reversed.
Yes.
So
Okay, let's see here.
So Jeff Park, when you say Legoland, was it Legoland the amusement park or a Lego store that you went to?
Tim Allen says Legos and I have a love-hate relationship. Yeah, I've stepped on a couple of Duplos, but I have kept the small ones to a minimum. Michael Caine says I've toyed with the idea of lighting my sets, but it would be a big undertaking.
Yeah. We've not done that with any of ours.
Yeah,
But we don't have a ton. Well, you have a lot of buildings.
I do, but they're primitive. They're not like city buildings, right? Like this, I've got the forge, which is like a traditional house with Asian-esque house, and then I've got the other forge, which is supposed to be like knights, Germanic. The one in Grapevine Mills in Dallas.
Huh.
I didn't know there was one.
Oh, Legoland Discovery Center.
Ooh.
Cool. So that
Huh.
looks like something
I-
pretty fancy.
That's interesting. I only ever knew of the theme park in California. Which is a fun place. I've been to it many,
Oh.
many years ago.
Nice.
But no, you'd love it. They had really amazing rides where elaborate Lego structures were part of the scenery of different rides.
Nice.
Oh, here we go, guys. Tend to your garden. Building a Lego set can be an immersive escape, like reading a great book. It allows you to focus on something fun and gives you a feeling of pride and gratification, even long after it's completed. You can return to this garden as often as you'd like. Blah, blah, blah. This is also an escape, guys. This explains my enjoyment.
I hope you could return to it as often as you like. Like, what? It's not on loan. It's not like.
Not if you super glue it together.
Okay, so here's what I'll be doing: is the building. Most of the set will be the base, and then this landscape stuff, and then the trees.
And this is mine. So the base, the car, and the rest of the car. And here's Batman.
Good old Adam West.
Yep.
Jeff says the Grapevine Mills has 3 small rides.
Okay. The we don't have a Legoland anywhere near us, but there is a Lego store in the Mall of America, which isn't super far away from where we live. So that's someplace that we like to go sometimes. And it's actually where we got the first Lego set that we built together.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. And they don't have rides, but it's the Legoland or the Lego store is right next to it's kind of like an entrance, one of the entrances to the little theme park that they have there. And that has a lot of rides and fun stuff to do. I'm curious to see if this goes faster or slower than when we're taking
Trading
turns.
them back and forth.
Yeah, probably will be a bit faster.
I bet it'll be a lot quieter.
Yeah. Well, we'll try.
Free Narnian, we're relying on you.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Well, what should we talk about?
Did you meet any cute girls at Christmas parties in the last few weeks?
Haha. I am an oak, sir. I don't just play around on Twitter. I'm the real deal. I am just dodging left and right. Christmas parties. I don't know. I feel like this was a slower year for Christmas party. A lot of people I knew have been sick.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody really got it this Christmas, I feel like. We didn't go to a lot of Christmas parties this year, not necessarily because we were sick, but just because that's the way the year went.
Oh, it was kind of a rough year. Ready to be done.
Oh
Well,
Yeah, I
one piece I'm never getting back.
What? Did it bounce underneath something?
It is clear.
Uh-oh.
oh no.
I'm missing a piece as well, so. This is great content.
We've lost control of the stream, everyone.
There we go. Okay. Did you
Bring
find
out.
it?
Wait.
No.
Cut to the sheep. Cut
What-
to the sheep. We need to...
Which was it?
It was a clear. I was like, that's
I mean, there's almost certainly an extra one of those.
almost certainly.
So
But I don't want to step on it later.
we'll find it.
I was just talking about how I do a good job.
Here, we're gonna give a
Oh, there it is.
live view
There
of
it
the
is.
situation here. We got a cool rug for underneath our
Yes,
table. So
we did. Our feet will no longer be freezing. Okay. Michael Caine says he recently did a smaller vehicle build, the James Bond Aston.
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin.
Yeah, I saw that.
Shockingly fun to build.
That one looks really cool. I've at different times thought about starting to collect those cars, but I never have. I tried to avoid starting a new thing to collect because I need more collections of things. Like I need more holes in my head.
More holes.
Yeah.
He says that he got it because the retro vibe goes well with the city he's building. Was
Yeah.
that the car that was in the picture you posted? Was that
It's like
today?
a little gray car.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
It was cute.
Well, the cool thing about those cars is if you are building a city, then they can be cars in your city.
Yeah.
They don't need a special theme to go with.
Jeff Park says, sheep, look at me. Look at me. I am the chill stream now.
Yeah, I feel like I remember a while ago. Didn't Lego have like a brand of I don't know. I don't think like remote cars. Like you could build your own remote control cars.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
Yeah, they've done that a couple different times. I forget what the latest one was exactly. I think it would be really cool if they did minifigure scale ones, which would be possible now. Like they've miniaturized a lot of stuff since when I was a kid. It was like super novel to have really tiny remote control cars when I was a kid, but it's something that you see now. So I feel like they could do that. Yeah. Michael Caine says the modular building is an easy one to collect because it's just one set a year. They're big and expensive, but it's just one a year. Yeah.
Says he's gonna kick James Bond out of the car.
James Bond. Does the James Bond minifigure come with a shaken martini?
It honestly might. I'm not sure. So what I'm building here is this little stand for the car. It was a little bit too small just as the car to be a $30 set, so they have a little stand with a little label. And I just don't feel like stickers tonight, so whatever stickers I run into in the build, I'm not going to put on right now. So I'm not going to be putting on this Batmobile label thing on this slope piece because I don't feel like it. Check this out though, babe. It came with an extra sticker sheet.
Oh.
So that's
In
fun.
case if you botch the application of one and
I think it's just an error that it came with an extra sticker sheet. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No. I've
Yeah.
never seen anything like that.
I remember from they had stickers being a very frustrating aspect.
Yeah.
You need total silence and very carefully apply.
Yeah, there's some tricks to it that make it less annoying, but it's still my least favorite part of Lego by far. And I actively seek out sets that don't have any stickers, or have minimal stickers, because it's just fun to build without having to think about stickers.
Nope, that's not like that. There we go.
But it's nice to have an extra set. So
Yeah, James Bond conversation going on in the chat. I've never known James Bond to work on cars. Although I am a James Bond novice. I think I might have only seen. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen a James Bond movie all the way through.
I think I'm probably the same, actually.
the only James Bond movie that I've seen is Goldfinger, the original one, and I liked it quite a bit. It definitely is interesting because it is very, very risque.
Hmm.
I feel like it must have been kind of controversial. Seems like it might have been kind of controversial at the time. I mean, it just doesn't seem like, it's a little weird seeing a movie that old that's that risque.
Hmm.
I feel I've seen like the beginning of From Russia with Love, but I couldn't tell you what happens in it. I just know that's one that I've seen because I like remember the title coming on the screen, but I don't remember anything after that. And I've seen some of the Daniel Craig ones, but yeah, classic Bond. I really I don't know much about. I think John Cleese was Q at one point.
Really?
Yes, I want to say that. Maybe this is like a Mandela thing, and I have a false memory, or I was hypnotized or something. But I want to say that John Q, I mean that Q was played by John Cleese for one of them. I have a memory. Someone in the chat, please confirm that I'm saying something that corresponds remotely to reality.
One fun fact about James Bond is that the guy who wrote the James Bond novels also wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That is interesting.
I think he also was friends with Christopher Lee. That's part of the Christopher Lee legend of all these famous every famous person that
That's
came out
right.
written in that era. Yeah.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Because wasn't he an actual? Was he an actual spy
Yes.
or member of the
Yes.
military or something?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he worked with like British intelligence services post World War II.
Hmm.
Oh, they were cousins. Michael Caine says.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
There we go. Oh, and yes, John Cleese did indeed play Q. Haha.
Nice.
Of course, that IMDb page could just be part of the conspiracy. None of it is real.
So just some interesting part usage here. So there's this car, like small vehicle chassis piece here, and there's two of them that are used in this build, for one for each side of the car where people sit. So you do this kind of asymmetrical thing. I was like, why am I only putting these slopes on one side? Well, it's half the car.
Oh.
I like that
Interesting.
that red interior. It's
Yeah.
it's unique looking.
Yeah. The interior of this vehicle is really nice. It has a lot of little details in it, like the phone and everything. So
And of course, Batman would have to remind Robin to always fasten his seatbelt.
mhm.
Very, very important for the kids at home to have Batman remind them to do that. What a fun time the 60s must have been.
All right. My matcha tea is loose in these bowls. It's going to drive me nuts because it's going to fall out every time I move it. Just know it.
Just set it aside somewhere.
Then it wouldn't be right. How am I doing it like this?
Well, I feel like I'm almost through this first bag.
AWL, finally able to catch one of these. Hi. Thank you for coming. Doug Wise, never late, exactly when I mean to, etc. Jeff Park says Christopher Lee is genuinely one of the most interesting actors there is.
Yes, absolutely.
There's that great video of him talking about how you shouldn't get involved in the occult.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great video.
Well, guys, I think I've screwed it up already.
What did you do?
Yep, I have. It's like I have way too many pieces, including all 3 of these little clear ones that I almost lost.
So here's another little interesting bit of symmetry. We're using these
No,
square
still wrong.
or rectangular Technic pieces near the axles, and there's one in the front and one in the back.
Put that back. Okay.
I agree with you, Michael Caine. Peter Cushing was neat too. He was an avid wargamer, as many know.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in the chat get Lego sets for Christmas? Or just us? You can give them to each other.
You're codependent Lego addicts.
I can stop whenever I want.
AWL says Peter Cushing was a real gamer.
A real gamer.
Yes, he was. I mean, any guy who sits there painting Napoleonic figures, like dressed up like he's ready for cocktails, like that is a real man, ladies and gentlemen. Like you can't touch Peter Cushing.
Michael Caine says he got his building, the jazz club, James Bond, and the shelving.
Oh, nice.
Wait, the shelving is made out of Legos?
No, it's the shelf full of Legos.
Ah.
He posted a picture of it earlier today, I think. Jeff says, I gave Lego sets to kids and a sister-in-law. Nice. Okay. Start pieces here. Michael Caine says it's a shelf to put my city on.
Yeah.
$3.90. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
I do. My New Year's resolutions were to hike more, swim more, and spend more time reading out of doors as opposed to indoors. Because I figured that would be a good way to be outside, catch the natural sunlight, get the fresh air. I've been kind of sedentary lately, and I want to amend that.
By being sedentary outside.
Yes.
And also hiking and stuff.
What about you guys? Do you make New Year's resolutions?
Not personally. I got stuff that I want to do for the website, but that's more. It's not really resolutions. That's brand goals, right?
Yeah, it's not resolutions as much as just goals.
Like, gonna keep working on. I should actually hit 100 reviews on my website this year, so that will be exciting. I think I'll do some sort of event.
Yeah, that's a good milestone.
Yeah. Can't believe I haven't hit it already. I feel like I've done 100. But it looks like a lot when it's all lined up on the website, but it's actually still less than 100.
Wait, is the Zen Garden like it doesn't have any figures or anything, I'm assuming. Is it
Nope.
just supposed to look like a bonsai tree or something, or what?
So this one, it's got the same base as the bonsai tree that they did, but it's
Where it looks like it's in a flat pot.
yeah, like it's in a flat pot, but it's as far as I can tell, it's going to be minifigure scale or close to minifigure scale, and it will be the little building and then a garden area with a path and then trees that you can move around however you like.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I was
Yeah,
gonna say because it looks like is that supposed to be like a little table with tea on it?
yeah,
Right there?
that's a tea ceremony.
Ah, based
So
in Iron Build.
it will be. I'm not sure where this is going, but I'm about to do some paper walls here. Doing lots of these. Oh, we went to a Pizza Hut Classic.
Yeah.
That was fun.
No way.
Yep. Yeah, there's one in my hometown. So, I mean, it wasn't really a whole lot to write home about, but it is what it is. I mean, it looks like old-fashioned Pizza Hut on the inside, so.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
There we go. Snap.
Yeah, I would definitely go again. It was fine.
It was fine. It was Pizza Hut.
Yes, Michael Caine, they do have red cups. They weren't glass, they were plastic, but it was what I remember from when I was a kid.
It was not dark. That's what I remember from being a kid. It was dark inside, but it wasn't dark. Michael Caine says Narnian only knows the memes.
I only know the legends. That was before my time. This golden era. I don't think there is a Pizza Hut near me, actually. Even classic or otherwise. My era is actually kind of dominated by a few locally owned chains
Okay.
that everyone goes to. That like it's actually really nice because like if you go out around, you always see a delivery car from one or the other every time. It's really funny. They're like people go nuts for this local pizza, but yeah, Pizza Hut. I don't know. Maybe I should open a franchise. I should open a Pizza Hut Classic, and this is opportunity.
Ah, man, these do not snap in nice. Am I doing it wrong?
You're doing it from the wrong side.
Wrong
maybe.
side?
Here.
I don't think so.
Oh, there you go.
They snap really hard.
So have you ever eaten at a Pizza Hut, Free Narnian?
Okay? One time, long ago, but yes, I got Pizza Hut while I was visiting Hawaii.
Oh wow!
And it was late at night, and I got a pizza, and I was eating outside, and there was a light rain, and it was magical.
Nice. Was it a Hawaiian pizza?
It was not a Hawaiian pizza. It was just a regular pizza.
Dale.
That was fun.
You know what they call Hawaiian pizza in Hawaii?
Well, what's that?
Pizza.
Oh, no! And then a big hook comes out. No, that was a really fun trip because that was like my whole family. We all went out together, and it was really cool.
Nice.
But so, yeah, so that is my very specific Pizza Hut memory. But other than that,
We had, I don't know, is Pizza Del Rey a chain?
No.
Okay, we have Pizza Del Rey.
There's
In
in Caitlin's hometown, there's this place called Pizza Del Rey, it's really wonderful.
oh, it is like tomato sauce on a cardboard, but it's the cheapest. Was the cheapest? I don't think
It's just
open.
just grease just pours off.
And
of it.
like the restaurant itself is just completely nasty.
Yeah, like crap was falling off
crap.
the ceiling.
Yeah, and
Water stains.
After every soccer game, that's where they would take us. Birthday parties were there all the time because it was cheap pizza. So gross. Even as a kid, I knew it was gross. They had like pinball machines and stuff, arcade games.
Yeah, it's kind of an experience. Pizza Del Rey.
Why am I missing? There we go. There's my paper walls.
You put those little white pieces in upside down.
I did not. Stop it. Don't be mean to me. David likes to mess with me because I really am very gullible.
Crate's Brain stuffed crust pizza is, I suppose, it's beyond me. Yeah, no, I've never had it.
Wow.
Yeah, I have had Domino's garlic crust pizza. If that counts at all. I don't think it does, but
I don't think I think I've probably had it once or twice. Domino's pizza.
Yeah, it's not something that we ever had too much.
Yeah,
I'm,
Little Caesars is our go-to.
Yep, which is also pretty. It's like not good in the sense of like gourmet or whatever, but I think it's really good for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, so yeah, the big pizza chains, they don't really have that strong of a foothold here. We have our own pizza mafia that keeps things local.
AWL says cheap pizza is great when you don't have an Italian yelling in your ear that it isn't.
Yeah.
I just like food and I don't need it to be fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Like we eat out at fast food places all the time and just enjoy it.
Yeah. Fast food is also very consistent, usually.
Sorry.
And that's kind of a joy in and of itself. You get the same thing every time.
Mm-hmm.
When you've had a long day and things aren't going your way, and you just want to,
just have something that you know is going to taste good.
Yeah.
Exactly the way you expect. When I was pregnant, that was like a must. I think we ate out a lot while I was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it was like, I know exactly what this is going to taste like, and it's going to be good. As long as the girl at the window can understand English. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I recently discovered, or rather, rediscovered that the quarter pounder with cheese is the best McDonald's burger. in my
Mm.
humble opinion.
Yeah. And you know the way to get those, right? Is you fill out the survey on the coupon, and then you can buy one get one free.
Yeah, on the receipt.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not.
Yep.
Yeah.
So every time you go to McDonald's, you have the opportunity to buy one get one free quarter pounder.
And it still prints on your receipt when you get the free one, so you can
Yep.
you can
Do it over and over and over again.
Oh, excellent.
They really do taste a lot better than like the cheaper burger equivalent too. It's like they have a different meat set aside.
Yeah. Those McDoubles used to be really good when they were $1 or $2, and now they're like $3.50, and it's like not worth it.
Yep.
Just give me a McChicken. That's fine.
Michael Caine agrees with you. The quarter pounder is absolutely the way to go.
It is. I mean, the taste just doesn't. The Big Mac does not compare.
Big Macs have just way too much bread in them.
Mhm.
We're kind of partial to Whoppers from Burger King.
I like the mayo and the tomato.
Yeah, we get Whoppers quite a bit.
Mm.
I know everybody kind of hates on Burger King. It's like, but I really think they're like the Whoppers is very, very good, and it's big. It's a big patty.
Mm-hmm.
I think people hate on Burger King a lot because they were one of the first that went to the plant meat, whatever, the fake meat burgers.
Oh, the Impossible
Oh.
Burger. Yeah.
Yeah, and they. Yeah, I was never that much into Burger King. Not that much into McDonald's either. To be perfectly honest, it's not my go-to drive-through.
McDonald's was a lot more fun when there was a ton of stuff that you could get for $1.
Mm-hmm.
Now that there isn't, it's a lot less fun. But really, every fast food place has gotten so much more expensive now that it's, I don't know, we've gotten used to paying more for fast food.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Babe, have you seen this piece before?
no, that's a new one.
It's got a.
It's got a little swoop to it.
I haven't seen it before either. I feel like it was probably created for these kinds of sets. I've seen a lot of different builds for Asian style roofs. So it's always interesting to see something new.
So I lied about stickers. I'm just doing these little tiny bumper pieces.
David, you misled the stream.
Yeah, these ones they're really tiny, so that makes them quite a bit easier to put on, and they're not super easy to see. So I'm just going to get them out of the way.
Okay, did that. Aha! Okay, so this is going to set. This is going to be like a railway around the outside, it looks like.
Railing.
This is going to be a railing.
Okay, he said railway.
Did I say railway? Okay.
Ugh.
Ah.
Michael Caine says Burger King is awful, awful, awful in the South.
Mm.
Somehow that makes sense to me. I don't know why, but it seems like it would be.
Burger King definitely, I would say, if you're in a sort of a place where it seems like the fast food might not be very good, I think would be one to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But our town the fast food is all pretty good quality. Like they're all pretty exemplary. And the Burger King is weird. Like they always have kind of weird people working there and weird staffing issues, but the food is always good.
Yes, was it like Chick-fil-A has the reputation of like always having excellent staff.
Mm-hmm.
I feel In-N-Out is also one where like they always have like really clean-cut people.
Culver's.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Although they're all kids.
Yeah, Culver's is all
Somehow.
children, all minors,
Like literally children.
like 14 years old.
Hmm.
I don't know how they get away with it. Who else? There's another one that has really nice, clean, friendly people, and I can't remember. No. Oh well. I have a note here. It says most Tranquil garden pavilions are made from wood to blend into the natural surroundings. There we go.
AWL says Wisconsin must have little in the way of child labor laws. I think, yeah, I think it's like 14 or something.
It's 16, and you can't.
14, I think. It used to be 14.
It used to be 16 when I was working. And you can't, like, you know how you have, as an adult, if you work an 8-hour shift, you have like paid breaks and unpaid breaks. Minors don't get unpaid breaks. They get paid breaks every time. So they only schedule them for like mini shifts. Drove me nuts when I was a customer service manager because I couldn't keep them. Always sending them on break.
Nice. We're getting a nice feel of the outline of the car here now with these tail pieces.
Michael Kane says, I think Burger King corporate doesn't have tight control over locations. It's entirely up to local management. Well, that would explain our Burger King.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like that's probably true for most of the big fast food guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can tell, if you go, I've been to places where like the fast food place was just very different. Like it just felt different, looked different. You could tell things ran at a different tempo. Like where else, where else would the changes be made except for like the local management level?
Mm-hmm. Car dealerships, on the other hand, the brand decides what kind of paint you can put on the wall. They literally send someone. And if you need to change a light bulb, you have to order from the giant mega overhead company to make sure you get the right one. So stupid. Okay, which gray plate am I using here?
Yeah, no, Michael. I've never been to a Long John Silver's. I don't think there's any around me.
No, they're farther south than
There's
us.
one in Mall of America.
Oh, okay.
I see ads for them though, but there's not one near me, so I can't explain it.
What about
AWL says they're drug fronts.
Yeah.
And Michael Keynes, I was just typing how we're pretty sure ours cooks all our country's meth in the kitchen.
What about Popeyes?
Yes, there is one Popeyes in my area.
I really like Popeyes.
Yeah, we finally got one in the area.
Well, there's been a bunch in the area, but we got one in our town. Not
Have there really been a bunch in the area?
Yeah, there's one over in Maplewood, and then by 3M, and then there's one up by Maplewood Mall that we used to go to. My
Okay.
friend and I used to go when I worked at my other job, my old job. We used to go for lunch all the time to Popeyes.
I tried their chicken sandwich for the meme, a couple years back, and I was like, it's good. I wouldn't fight anyone over it, but
Yeah,
it's-
the chicken sandwich is not anything to write home about, in my opinion, but the chicken itself, I think, is really good.
Mm.
And I like their sides. They're all Cajun.
It bothers me that I have to ask for ketchup, and then they look at me funny, and then they give me one ketchup packet. Okay, I don't like Cajun. I'm sorry. I just want to taste ketchup. There you are.
I miss the KFC Georgia Gold. That was the best item that KFC ever had. I loved it when I was in high school, and they took it away, and it's been very difficult for me to find it in my heart to forgive them ever since.
Was that the special Mountain Dew flavor?
No, it was like a spicy, tangy. It was like chicken tenders in a particular type of tangy sauce. I really liked it. And it came with like pickle slices.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But I don't know. They said you're too lucky, Karina. Too lucky in life, and we're going to subtract this from you.
Something that I always wanted to try from KFC, but I've never gotten to, is that double down sandwich.
Oh man, that's like Manlet Thorin tier level of like meme food.
Meme food. I just
I've
think
thought about it. I've like idled at the drive-through thinking about it, and I'm like, no, I can't do it. I'm not brave enough.
Taco Bell actually had something familiar that Katie really liked, which is called the naked chicken chalupa.
I really like that.
Which is a chalupa. It was one of their special items that they have sometimes. It's like a chalupa, but the chalupa tortilla is actually a chicken patty, like a fried chicken patty.
I don't like tortillas.
Yeah.
So it was really good for me. Michael Caine said, "Good thing John Douglas is in here," and I would just say that he probably would say, "Well, you haven't had real Cajun."
Well, I have had real Cajun.
Yeah, I
food.
said that I didn't like Cajun.
Yeah.
I actually.
Well, you've had real Cajun.
I've had like an actual Cajun crawdad fry or whatever they call it, and that was good.
Five Guys has good Cajun fries.
Yeah. Yeah, with the seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
We've been going to Five Guys a lot lately.
Yeah.
Everything else has gotten so expensive that it's like, okay, well, we might as well just go to Five Guys. Thanks. Yeah. You know, it's like, should I spend $7 a person, or $8 or $9 a person and get a pretty good meal, or should I spend $10 or $11 a person and get a really, really good meal?
Yeah, one thing I really like about Five Guys is that their veggies always taste really fresh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know the patty meat is too, but don't give it. But I appreciate really kind of like crisp vegetables on a hamburger.
It tastes very homemade there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Michael Caine says Lego and fast food. You guys run a wild stream.
No, just you wait.
Oh, this is, as I say on Twitter, it's #1 internet super show. Everything gets talked about.
Jeff Park
Yeah.
says, Katie, I need all the ketchup you have. I fear you may have heard, I need more than one ketchup. What I said was, I need all the ketchup you have. And Doug Wise is like, ketchup on chicken?
Well, on fries and stuff.
Yeah, I like mustard on chicken, and I like
Honey, like honey mustard.
like honey mustard. Yeah, I like to have something to dip stuff in.
Mm-hmm. I prefer mustard on most everything, to be honest. Even
That's
fries.
good.
I like mustard, but I don't like honey mustard. That
Yeah.
much. So
Yeah, I get that.
Make sure I am doing the right thing here. Ah, okay.
I remember when I discovered Dusseldorf mustard for the first time. Changed my life.
what is special about that? I don't think I've ever had it.
It's like it's moderately spicy. It's not too spicy, but it's got a little extra something, and it really goes well, obviously, with like pork or sausage.
Okay.
And
Screwed
yeah,
up.
if you've got like a kind of like a sweet bratwurst, and you pair that with Dusseldorf, it's like, so these are good times we are in.
Nice.
All right. Missing that guy. Then this guy. Michael Caine says he's got a good local burger chain. It's good and cheap. Grind their own steak, local sourced
burger
everything.
Chain. Local burger chain.
What did I say?
Burger King.
No, I meant chain. AWL asks, Narnian, have you ever had a mustard barbecue?
I don't think so. I might have, and I just don't really remember it, but I can't think off the top of my head. You know, local fast food chains are a treasure. You know, I always feel good supporting them.
Yeah.
I will say that our pizza places, they have locally sourced produce, which is always nice. You know, but yeah, it's a good thing.
When I was in college, there was this bar in the town where we went for college, and on Thursday nights they had buy one get one free burgers. So we would always go there on Thursday, and they were the best burgers. They actually tasted like just homemade burgers. They had toasted the buns and put butter on them. So that was our Thursday tradition to go there. You don't really have like a local burger chain or a local thing that's not like a chain around
Yeah.
here.
We got a lot of chains.
Yeah.
Michael Caine says, I like local places. We really started supporting them during COVID to help keep them open and haven't regretted it.
That's good.
I would do it more, except most of our local places are down the hill in like downtown. And downtown parking is a nightmare. And then you have to go either far away or pay. And then we always have the kids with us. So you have to hike with the kids.
And they're really expensive.
They are very expensive. They're very trendy.
We went to this little... Well, it was a place that you had been before. And we ended up paying like almost $70 for the two of us just to
Yeah.
have an entree
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah, I didn't remember it was that expensive.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And the food was just not that good. I mean, it was fine. I'm not picky about food, but you can get a lot for $70.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have an authentic German restaurant, and it's bland.
Yeah.
It's authentically bland.
Yeah. It's not. That was a disappointment. I was wanting to learn about my heritage, and it was just.
It was bland.
It was bland. Almost as bland as Japanese food.
Hey, it's good
Whoa.
food.
Whoa.
David was so sore when we went to Japan, and because
It's the worst.
none of the food was spicy.
Yeah.
We were finally in a convenience store, and he found a
Beef
jerky that was labeled spicy.
Yeah, it had a picture of a cow on the front that the cow's head was made out of chili pepper, and it had flames.
Yep.
And I bought it, and the guy
at the counter.
And he's like, this jerky is very spicy, and I'm like, I hope so. It was not. It was what I would call mild.
Mm. That does happen. One spice thresholds is one of those things where it can be kind of variable. I had authentic Danish plate. Well, at least it said it was authentic Danish. Like I would know, right? But it was it was billed as authentic Danish, and I liked it a lot. I forget what they called the sausage, red pulse or something like that, but it was tasty. Very savory.
Mm. I gotta turn this so I don't make a mistake here.
Guard kitchen. That is a wonderful idea.
Oops, that's not right. There we go.
All the food is really horrible, but it's funny. Sorry, that's the best I could come up with.
It took me a while to think that through. I was like, wait, what? Oh yeah. No, either or. There's only two dishes.
Yeah.
Either or. You have to make a.
It's a great place to take your date when you're gonna break up with her, because God doesn't want you to have her. Free Nardia knows what I'm talking about.
I'm glad, because I'm.
No, no, there's a leap of faith where you just the item is blank, and so you just have to trust that it's what you want.
Yeah.
You have to order it without knowing what it is. This restaurant would not be in business for very long.
No.
Okay, Michael says, I mostly like mocking the British palate when it comes to spiciness. It makes them really angry, which brings me great joy as an American. Despite me being a huge Anglophile.
They don't have spices on the food, but I mean, they spice their water constantly with this stuff called tea.
No.
That they drink obsessively, right? Like, the Anglo anti-spice thing, yeah, it's not so much in the dishes, but I like tea, actually, myself. I'm definitely more of a tea person than a coffee person.
I like both.
I used to be a big tea drinker, and then I pretty much quit when I started drinking coffee.
Jeff says the Dutch and the English raced around the world to find spices they would never use.
Yeah.
AWL says I can't diss beans on toast though.
I don't know about that.
AWL says in the Kierkegaard kitchen, there is no menu. All the dishes are early buffet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff says shut down for teleological suspension of the health code.
What?
This is all. Oh yeah, today is Tolkien's birthday.
Yes, it is. Yeah, AWL said, look, when you've got guys like Tolkien going to bat for your cuisine, it's hard to insult it. I don't think they had beans on toast in Lord of the Rings, though.
No. I can't think. They were pretty. The hobbits have a fairly robust culinary tradition. You know, they're not as simple and rustic as we've been led to believe. They seem to know a lot about.
Michael Caine says, I don't think beans are mentioned at all, are they?
I don't think so. No.
Says, cheese, summer sausage, and a mince pie with an ale. Yeah.
Yeah. That's. They have a lot of pies.
Yep. Potatoes,
Everyone know about like potatoes
fish.
in the movie, but I can't remember if potatoes are ever mentioned in the book.
Oh yeah, yes they are. That line is straight out of the book.
Okay.
Yep. And I know that. Sorry, I'm looking for a piece. In The Hobbit, he mentioned tomatoes originally. Whoops, maybe I'm doing the wrong page here.
See, Middle Earth is in America, after all.
And then he got rid of it and changed it to potatoes because it was anachronistic.
Sam is willing to let Frodo fall to his death.
Sam is willing to let Frodo fall to his death for salt.
Well, I mean, let's not shoot him down for that. Like, come on, let's be reasonable here.
You gotta have salt.
Yeah, like.
What are you gonna cook without salt? AWL says, y'all are gonna make me reread the whole Legendarium to find beans.
Probably in the Silmarillion at some point, someone puts beans on toast.
I doubt it.
It's a song. It's in one of the songs.
Doug Wise, imagine an American author so defensive about his cuisine he has chapters about how great burgers are.
I mean, I'd read that.
Actually, I think that some of the indie authors who are currently writing could stand to have a few more foods in their books. Let's talk a little bit.
There's a lot of food in my books.
Yes, there is. I think food is an important part of fantasy. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's just it's an easy way to build setting, right? You just start having food, and then if you make the characters think about food, like how real people are in real life, it makes interesting things happen and fun conversations happen.
Mm-hmm.
No,
yeah, actually, now that I think about it, there's a lot of food in both my books, and it's all very meaningful to the story.
Well, no, you're right. Food is a very good way to give out details about environment and culture and stuff like that, and social cues, and like kind of like what manners are. Like you get all of that if you just have characters having a meal together.
Yeah. Yep.
You can work a lot in with that.
AWL says food is the real backbone of fantasy. It's the first fantasy. I'll say that. You have kids, the very first fantasy that they play, right? The imaginary play that they do is making and eating food, giving food to each other, giving it to their animals, making it. I get handed a lot of imaginary cookies in a day. Michael Caine says, for real, I love good food descriptions. It's also an important part of making something feel rich, right? One of the things that I will never forgive them for, one of the many things I will never forgive them for doing in the Hobbit movies, is making the Rivendell experience for the dwarves meatless. They complain about there's no meat. It's like,
yes, the elves are to
what?
be vegetarians.
This makes no sense.
But it's one of those things you have to be careful with, though, because there are some people out there who will jump down your throat if your culinary traditions are not violate their standards of historical verisimilitude. You know, I have no such qualms because I was weaned, as I said many times, on RuneScape, where one of the highest healing food items was an anchovy pizza in a medieval fantasy world. So I accept all kinds of foods in a fantasy setting. I'm not gonna get hung up on someone eating tomatoes in a medieval European society.
Yeah, I don't care if tomatoes didn't exist in England. I just know that I love them. Somebody posted on Twitter.
Is that focusing, babe?
No. Very nice. Someone posted on Twitter a picture of like beefsteak tomatoes cut, salt and pepper.
Mm.
And they were like, do people actually eat this? Yes. Like my mouth was watering, like drooling, looking at my computer screen.
Yeah.
David doesn't care for it. Michael Caine says, I hate the vegetarian elves trope. Stupid modern hippie elves. Jeff Park, Denethor eating tomatoes I am now against, otherwise fine.
Oh yeah, so that would that be considered an inaccuracy in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings?
Yep.
Yeah.
How dare they?
You know, that sort of thing. You guys, I don't know, you might be more moderate than me, but I find that whole thing very tedious myself. People who get like these hang-ups about stuff like that, like, you know, I remember one of these like world building channels where like this guy gets up on there saying that like, if you expect me to believe that you have airborne fire breathing reptiles, you have to explain how that affects the ecosystem of your setting. And I'm like, this is absurd. Like that is just absurd beyond words. You know, like
Yep.
Well, I mean, it depends. It depends. If dragons are super duper common, then yeah, maybe you do. But if it's like there's two ancient dragons that live in a cave and never come out, you know, then no, you don't have to.
well, yeah, but I mean, but if like something fantastical is like common, then it's just it kind of gets baked into the setting just anyway, right? And it will get
Right.
kind of revealed in its own time.
Mm-hmm.
But like I feel like the expectation that like what I need to, you know, should every novel come with an encyclopedia with it, to let you know how everything runs and works. I mean, maybe. I mean, hey, you know what? You could probably sell that. People would.
Right.
I'm
You
accidentally
probably
stumbling
could.
on a profitable venture. But other things like that, where people like to talk about like how um such and such armor wouldn't be plausible because a setting like this wouldn't have had such advanced metallurgy at this particular time, or anything like that. And I mean, I get to a point, like I respect it, but I feel that you can't be too weird about it, because then at a certain point you're not telling a fantasy story anymore. You end up just explaining things.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it really depends on what kind of story you're trying to tell. I think there's a place for all kinds of stuff. And certainly there's no shortage of stuff to read, so if Mr. How do you expect me to believe X, Y, or Z doesn't like your book, he can read something else.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, and if you can explain stuff,
The phone.
very nice. If you can explain stuff without getting in the way of the story, great.
Mhm.
I love that kind of thing, right? I enjoy world building as long as the explaining doesn't end up answering all of the reader questions about the story, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done reading, right? Or taking so long that I get bored.
Mhm.
But yeah.
No, that's true. I mean, yeah, I can respect anything. I guess I just don't like the I respect any author doing anything for their vision, but I just find tedious is like the armchair criticism
Yeah.
is kind of more where I'm coming from.
Oh, I see it. Cratesbane mentions Timothy Zahn put hot chocolate in his Thrawn trilogy. This is almost as bad as the sequel trilogy.
Oh, that sounds like a very meritorious innovation, Create Spain. I disagree. What else do people drink in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away?
Jeff Park says, David, how do you expect me to believe that space flight is possible without Stanley Kubrick?
Oh.
Michael Caine says, I'm pretty sure chocolate exists in New Canon too. Looked that up one time. Don't even remember why.
I mean, there comes a point where just coming up with a new in-universe equivalent for everything is tiresome, you know. That's one of the reasons I write stuff in the same world as ours, just so I don't have to come up with what's this world's version of hot chocolate, you know.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But some things like we said with like fantasy food, some things are universal, right? Like a meat pie.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't need to be called anything else wherever
Right.
you go. Pizza would be pretty hard to carry over, though, I suppose. I guess you could just call it a flatbread with
Sure. There you go.
tomato and cheese.
Pizza is too mundane. That is the problem. It's too everyday. People are intimately familiar with pizza. But a meat pie, that could be anything. That could be mutton. Okay. Ooh. Make sure I get this oriented correctly. AWL says blue milk. And hi says better than asking what the heck green milk comes from.
Oh, we know though. We know where it comes from in all of its horrible glory.
It's easier to use chocolate than fake chocolate. All chocolate has a Wikipedia article for both legends and canon. Wiki writers are weird folks, though.
The Star Wars wiki is a wonderful place. There's a lot of strange happenings over there.
Michael Caine is laughing at my stumbling over his typo. And says it's like the beef flavored soda in Doctor Who.
There's sodas like that in real life.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen like they're kind of like gag sodas. You can kind of find them in like the specialty shops, but like I see like buffalo chicken flavored soda or like ranch dressing flavored soda. I tried buffalo chicken flavored soda once and it was an experience that I've had.
Was an experience that you had. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, that's really all I can say about it. The memory haunts me to this day, but whatever.
AWL says, if you want to have pizza, you need to have a fantasy race of small, hairy Italians.
Wow.
Not Italians. Nice. He also says, I know people who write Wikipedia articles. How's it going, my love?
Fine.
Fine.
Maybe this kind of going down the rabbit hole about food is what everybody on Twitter is talking about when they're like, "Don't world build, just write a story." Because to me, it's just like obvious that that's not what I want to do. To me, world building is, just good setting and basic consistency of your magic system and family trees and histories of who lived before and how it's relevant to the story and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest. World building's my favorite.
Yeah.
Someone, I think it was Michael Caine said earlier, as long as it's internally consistent, like you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
In my, you'll at least for as I'm concerned as a audience member, like as long as it plays by its own rules, then I'll accept most anything. But no, it's kind of fun. It was exciting. I read this, going through some of like my own fantasy WIP and my own world building notes and stuff, and it's fun. I love writing fictional history.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And some people on the internet just don't like it when other people have fun. So.
Yeah. When I read sci-fi and fantasy, I want to go to a place. And we laugh at like beef flavored soda, but at least it's better than like protein bars, which is what most sci-fi has. I would much prefer something wild and crazy like weird sodas than,
or just not talking about food at all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Oh, there we go. You mean not talking about food at all? What did you mean?
I meant like being weird is, and doing crazy world building is better than not doing any world building at all.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah. As you say, if you have no world building, that's like the opposite problem of the encyclopedia, right? Then you just have, people doing things
Yep.
with like no context that kind of charges it with any kind of flavor or gives it anything more depth. It's kind of like
Yeah.
you would just have like a skeleton going around,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, just in some of the indie stuff I've read, that is a bigger problem than too much world building.
Yes.
Interesting. What I guess do you think it's because like that's the conventional pressure is to that like if you just world build you'll never get a story done or
I think so.
Yep. And some of the like the pulp speed,
Yeah.
kind of like don't plan, just write out. Like you're stupid if you can't write X number of words per week, so you just need to bang it out.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's
yeah.
really interesting because I mentioned like Robert E. Howard wrote like his own encyclopedia article for the Hyborian Age for his Conan stories, where like he charted its entire history and
Mhm.
like which nations kind of rose to prominence when and like what the relations were to each other and like
Mhm.
their geography and like the temperaments of their cultures and stuff, and like he wrote it for himself so that whenever he could just like refer to it and know that okay, so this story is going to be here, what's going on here,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Or what kinds of people are here, what kind of city could be here, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, he knew world building. I think it comes in. You can read it if you get like that paper, the Coming of Conan paperback, which is it's like the compilation of all the early stories. It comes with it. It's really
Didn't
cool.
didn't you
I
get?
enjoyed reading it.
Was that the book that you got?
I incorporated everything into my bookshelf here. I can see it, but I don't think I can't read anything from here except the bright red Conan. I could get up and go look, I suppose. I got a Conan.
Earlier this last year, I tried reading the Cole stories, and they just didn't grab me. I know a lot of people like Cole of Atlantis, but
I've got the Conquering Sword of Conan. Okay. Just gonna keep doing these water tiles. Interesting, really interesting that they went over this yellow. I thought that they were gonna cover up all the yellow with natural colors. So I wonder.
oh, I didn't see. Are they like those little koi? Are they like printed on, or are they like
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep. So there's two different koi. There's a oranger one with brown spots and then a white one with orange spots. Okay. I have to keep track of where I am really carefully here. So sorry if I'm not talking too much, guys. Or keeping track of the chat.
The chat is now concerned with the relative merits of fish being a food staple in science fiction.
Oh.
I agree.
Is fish a...
Mostly because I like fish, but All descriptions of lockpicking, no description. Oh, Anne, are you talking about the long moonlight?
Ah, yes, I bet she is.
Okay.
Okay. Fish as a sci-fi food source.
Is you can store them in a spaceship easier. Yeah, you can, and you can think about it, right? Or if like in a bunker or something, be
Yeah.
a lot easier than having regular livestock.
And you could do what is it called when you grow plants on top of a fish tank?
Aquaponics.
Yeah. Of course, that would be if you only had live fish. I mean, like for transporting foodstuffs, you wouldn't be having live fish.
So in Battlestar Galactica, I think it was like you said, like they just had protein bars, or like they had
Yeah.
like they were like Jello cubes, but they were supposed to be. But see, that made sense though, because they were refugees on
Yeah.
rations,
Mhm.
right? Like they weren't like a real
Right.
society at that point. So
Or like the stupid when it is like a high tech functioning society, it's just like you just push a button on a machine and then you get whatever you asked for.
yeah.
That's not very
That's-
inspired.
Well, it's fun. I like it when that shows up like in Star Trek. Like it's fun when they deal with people. Like I think in one of the TNG episodes where they thaw people out from like a time capsule from like the past, and like you show them a replicator and they're just overawed by it. Like it's fun for that. But yeah, then when you stop and think about it, it's like oh, okay, yeah, he gets the Earl of Grey tea whenever he wants it from a
Yeah.
machine. Yeah.
There is no whimsy involved.
I think Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy has some fun jokes with that, because I know Douglas Adams has like the same thing there. I think like the computer, it's never quite right.
Mm,
The breakfast tea, it's just never.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
In that way, that kind of thing then harkens back to like a fantasy, like Cauldron of Plenty type thing, where it can do everything except dessert, right? Like,
Yeah. Or I guess in the books, in Lembas bread, that Frodo and Sam get from Rivendell, I think part of it is it's actually the leaves it's wrapped in give it its magical properties, right? Or not Rivendell, from from the Galadriel gives it to them. But the bread is infused with magic from the leaves it's wrapped in, isn't it? Isn't that how it goes? Or is it the bread itself?
I thought it was the bread. I didn't remember that the leaves had anything to do with it.
I think the leaves were their own thing.
Okay.
Maybe healing powers or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seem to remember. I feel like food preservation, maybe. And I feel like you could use them to tie wounds. I don't remember. I would have to pay attention to that when I was reading again.
Michael Cade says the leaves are what preserves them.
Ha! Yes.
Okay, but it's not what makes them like a full meal. Okay.
Doug Wise says, I gotta say, this Lego water looks great. I wasn't really sure what we were getting at until this clear layer went over it. Yeah. With the, you can really see the flow that this underlying pattern is supposed to convey. With this over it, it looks a lot more natural, I think. AWL says, I think it's more of the recipe since it was essentially invented by the demigoddess of momness. Michael Caine says, Malern leaves, and then says,
Yes.
my knowledge of pointless Tolkien trivia is borderline embarrassing.
Nope. Look how useful it was.
It is
You're
not.
just-
It is not pointless here.
Well, I'm on the last bag here.
You are.
So see how far you can get, and then I think we should call it good when I'm
Okay.
finished here.
I'll try and finish this water. AWL says Tolkien trivia is essential for a healthy brain. Keeps all the structure of the brain bulked up.
Yeah. It's, instead of doing like crossword puzzles, you just
Yep.
go through all of the appendixes and
Or just anything else actually useful.
Okay.
I really like the color contrast on the Batmobile.
Yeah, it's pretty terrific. And they do a lot of the detail with bricks. So there's a bat logo sticker that goes on each side here, but you know, it's all being done with thin plates and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, I forgot. The Tolkien elf names are muddled in my head because my head is so currently preoccupied with Warhammer Elf lore that I forgot what Lorien was called.
How could you?
I know, I'm ashamed. I need to hand it my geek card. Maybe like that one.
What a weird. I saw him saying that to other people, and I was like, there's no way that he still has comments turned on, like his notifications turned on still for this post.
What a classic
He-
Twitter
he
moment.
came and I was mostly like,
What was this?
there was this guy who was talking. He was talking to
Oh.
EDS about
Oh,
gore.
yeah. Yeah, so as soon as I saw that guy start talking like that, I blocked him. He was after he was like he made some comment about how geekdom doesn't have to be degenerate, and B.A. Turner, like he does, just posts a link to his stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, this looks demonic. These gargoyles
No.
look demonic. And I'm just
Oh
like, okay,
no!
bye.
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 So that's like an alter like
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. It's like this
That-
guy is never going to read my books. He is not a potential customer, so he can just GTFO.
Yeah, actually, that's another one of my New Year's resolutions. I am aggressively policing the timeline, and I'm getting a bit liberal with my blocks and mutes because
You gotta just stay
Yeah.
sane.
Well-
I was doing that for a while, and then my growth stalled out, so I quit. I thought maybe that it had something to do with that, but I haven't been aggressively muting and blocking people for a month, and my growth is still stalled out, so I'm just going to go back to doing it again. It feels so good just to block people.
Yeah, I posted that Palpatine clip.
Mm-hmm.
You drunk this stunted slime in my sight again. like no, it's true though, because like I've decided that I'm entitled to not feel bad when using Twitter
Mhm.
I'm going to build my own Twitter experience, and
Yep.
so people who, I don't know if it's a recent thing, if it's just because times are kind of rougher right now, or what else has changed, but like people are just going around, and there's just a lot of like very embittered, resentful people just airing their chips on their shoulders all day long, and it's like,
Mhm.
man, I'm so tired of that. I'm so done with that.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck to you, but no, and I can't police Thorin. Okay, I can't. That's not. What? I am only a mortal man. Okay, there's only so much I can do. I, I'm the real victim here, and okay, like, what? You think I want it to be this way?
Doug Wise says, I spent the holidays reading through several Making of Middle Earth books. Great stuff. Then
Ooh.
he corrects History of Middle Earth, the ones by Christopher Tolkien.
Oh yeah, I know of those. I've wanted one. It's like this really cool paperback one. I forget what the exact title is, but it was like kind of like an ultimate encyclopedia. That would be. Those are cool.
Yeah, I've got a lot of cool stuff, but I don't have any of the history.
Yeah, we really need to
set.
just get those and be done with it at some point here.
I have one of the cool one of the books by David Day. Which I think there are some inconsistencies with the proper Tolkien lore in the text, but it comes with great artwork. I think it's called Middle Earth, a Bestiary.
Oh, I
Or
have that one.
yeah, I love it. I love the artwork in that. I actually got it as a Christmas present a long time ago, and
This is my
it's really
copy.
cool. Yes, yeah. Oh, the art so good. Look at that.
Just awesome.
Yeah, that's it. This kind of like built how I visualize Middle Earth forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so good.
Hero. Yeah. Yep. Eowyn.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I did pick this year. I picked up some Warhammer art books, which I'm totally psyched about. I've been very hyped for the return of Warhammer Fantasy, as anyone who's been following me recently can attest to.
Oh, here's Bombadil.
He's a merry fellow.
I had to pick a David Day book. This would be the one. That's probably, I would say, the best of the ones that I've ever seen. Yeah. Beautiful. Anne says that book is beautiful. And then she comments, Eowyn is applying the leave-in conditioner liberally. All right. Well, guys, I finished the bag, so I think we'll stop there. I got 4 bags done.
Nice. I'm very, very close to done.
Nice.
Well, maybe not very, very close, but I'm getting close to done with this.
I think that I'm going to be able to mostly leave off the sides of this if I wanted. Not completely. I would have to do something to give an edge, particularly here. But I wouldn't have to build the bottom if I didn't want to. If I wanted to use this in a different way. Because this is basically the bottom of the thing it's going to set up. I'm going to be building up the sides. I'm going to be building up some spaces here and here too. That will be fun.
All right.
David, you still?
Yep. You can open another bag if you wanted.
That's okay.
I'm going to be going for a little while here.
I suppose you've got a few. Let's see. Let me just take a peek at the next bag. It's a small one.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think I got any Tolkien books for Christmas. I usually get one from somebody.
You didn't put any on your list?
I suppose. Nobody knows anymore what I have and what I don't.
And there wasn't a good obvious one that I was aware of this year to get, so I didn't. I think I got you that Middle Earth, that one Middle Earth book. The Nature of Middle Earth last year, I think.
Is that the one you got for me?
Yep, last year. You can't even remember what I got you.
I thought you got me
I've gotten you
Baron and Luthien.
I got you that one too, a different year. I've gotten you like several.
I know. You're a good man. The Nature of Middle Earth?
Yeah, it's over there.
Over here.
That blue one.
The blue one.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bought that from Barnes & Noble.
You actually went in there and bought a book.
Yep. Something that the Free Narnian can't do anymore.
Yes, no, I'm hunted.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even be on here. They'll recognize my voice. I need to use a modulator. Yeah, you know, is anyone's Tolkien library ever truly complete?
No.
Someone needs to translate the original books into Elvish.
I'm sure somebody has.
I saw a neat thing somebody shared on Twitter where somebody had transcribed The Hobbit into the dwarfs' runes.
Oh, wow.
Yes! Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
It's not really a translation. It's just like a transliteration.
But still, I mean, you know, that's what I'm talking about. You know, like,
Cool.
I want songs. I want the poetry in the original Elvish, particularly Old Fat Spider.
Old Fat Spider.
Michael Caine says The Hobbit is in Latin.
Yes, I've seen that. I have seen that. There. Now we're starting to cover up that yellow.
very Tolkien approved.
Not completely. I can't read Latin, and I've nearly bought it at least a dozen times.
Yeah, I remember I once saw a long time ago that there were like these novelizations of the Star Wars films, but done as Shakespearean plays.
Oh yeah,
So not
I've
only
seen
were
those.
like lines written in Shakespearean English, but also they came with like stage directions for like how it could be put uh put on in theater. And I was like, this is really funny.
I
But
wonder if those are any good, because that just seems
Fair.
like something that you make as a gag, and you could sell, and people would never actually read.
I don't know for all of them, but I flipped through one. I read the scene in A New Hope where Vader is arguing and Grand Moff Tarkin are arguing with the other Imperial officers on the Death Star,
Mm-hmm.
and he says the line. I don't remember how it was translated into Shakespearean language, but when he force chokes the guy, it says he finds his lack of faith is disturbing. But it was I liked it because it
Okay.
came with, like an actual like how the scene would be set for players on a stage, and I was like, oh, they kind of they took it seriously, enough
Nice.
to like really kind of think it through and like what it would be like.
That's good.
But Shakespeare doesn't use stage directions.
Well,
do you mean?
I mean, there's like from where people enter
Yeah.
and where um stuff like I don't remember more behind it, but no, but it was neat. It was a neat little. I think they came with illustrations too of like what kind of like a Elizabethan Star Wars costume would look like, which was kind of neat.
The Empire doth striketh back.
Michael Caine says, read by zero, owned by millions.
Yeah.
Oh, Anne was talking. Said a full set of Tolkien in Elvish with blue suede covers embossed in silver. So useless, read by zero people.
I'd read it, Anne. Or at least I would
maybe
pretend
that's
to
what-
You would
impress
try to.
people on Twitter.
Yeah.
AWL says, well, actually, they would have been written in Westron.
I thought, or was it Westernese?
Isn't it Westeros?
Westron.
Yeah, but like isn't Westeros the...
That's the name of the continent in
Right.
Game of Thrones.
What? Seriously?
Westeros?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh, all right.
That's another fun fantasy trope. It's just the common language, which is
Galactic Basic.
yeah, right. Like
I don't want to have everybody repeating themselves over and over and over through a translator. So we're just going to say, for the sake of my sanity as an author.
so, Douglas Adams again in Hitchhiker, he figured it out. You just put the little fish in your ear,
Right.
and it there you go.
The TARDIS translates everything within a certain, just everywhere. Okay.
So dumb. It's just the worst.
Yeah, Doctor Who is one of those things that like I don't know. I would get kept from that by itself.
By itself.
Like it the property itself get kept. I'm like, I don't get it. There's like a phone booth and there's like evil soda cans and gargoyles and I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's too late now, so to get into it. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
liked it.
I liked it before it was cool.
Well, actually, it started like in the 60s, I think. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
a fair while ago. Now, where is that supposed
It's
to
old
go?
enough that I think some of the original episodes have been lost.
There we go.
They were broadcast and kind of thrown away, you know?
Interesting.
There isn't a copy of them anymore.
Hmm.
So if you ever just want to, if you're ever feeling down, just think about that and think about the Dr. like the Whovian tears about that.
I have 2 Doctor Who books that are like classic Who things that I picked up at the same sale that I got all of the Tolkien books at, and I have not touched them. But I can't get rid of them just in case there might be interesting things in them. I should go grab them and show them to you guys since I'm done with my bag.
Yeah, yeah, Doctor Who. That was just one of those things where like, I just it didn't click with me. It
yeah.
always seemed like it should be a musical to me, you know, like, but I don't think it was, but it seemed like it would be like
The
it
kiss
would have
of death for any property.
it would have
Seems like it should be a musical.
But like, what really though? What's the premise? He's some sort of immortal alien thing, right? And like, what he just goes on adventures
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
that are just he's like an itinerant. It's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but lame, I guess is not
Okay.
as racy.
AWL corrected me, so it's Westernese is the country, Westron the language.
Wait,
Western Nessie
Westernesse.
or Westerness, not
Westerness.
Westernese.
Whatever. You
There's
guys.
2 S's.
I've never said it out loud before, okay?
Sound it out. Sound it out.
wait, wait, which country? What country is called Westernesse? I don't know. See, again, all the Tolkien lore is all. I should be silent on Tolkien.
I'm pretty
lore.
sure it's the continent.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Or the general area.
These guys are talking about all of this Tolkien trivia. Anne is ragging on just use English for calendar stuff.
That's
Calendar stuff.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a tricky one,
Use
'cause that's like-
real days of the week, real months, and then not made up ones. She doesn't like that.
That's an easy thing to do, though, I think.
And she says that's why Tolkien is the best. When Michael Caine pointed out that Tolkien basically did that. And AWL says, I get too pedantic about Tolkien lore. It appeals to my tism. Anne is here for the win. Doctor Who is about a time-traveling alien and his human pals doing sci-fi stuff, fighting monsters, meeting Shakespeare, and generally having a lark. It's a great time.
The more serious it gets, the worse.
Yes, exactly. The more serious, the worse.
Yeah,
So, okay,
when you
here
put it
are
that
my
way-
Doctor Who books. Doctor Who, The Unfolding Text.
The unfolding text.
Yep.
Wow.
Look at how tiny the back matter is. Doesn't this just scream, this has important things to say if you care about Doctor Who?
It's not a novel. It's a book about Doctor Who.
Yes, exactly. Doctor Who, The Unfolding Text, elucidates through practical demonstration and analytical approaches for the student and teacher of media studies, offers valuable information for the fan, and provides intriguing insight for the general reader into the adventures of television's most famous Time Lord. How many other Time Lords are there on television? Just
Yeah. It implies at least one other.
right. And then Doctor Who, The Key to Time, a year-by-year record. This is the 21st anniversary special edition. This one's pretty cool. It's got like stuff. So it starts 1963. Yeah. And then it ends 84. So it has none of the new stuff. And the unfolding text was published 83.
So those were written maybe as it was sort of done
Yeah,
for the first time.
I think so. Anne says, ooh, it looks like a college course textbook. Smells of the tism.
It smells of it.
All right.
Almost done here.
He's just got little pieces left. Well, the shape of it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great set.
Black and red. It appeals to my color favorites. I wear a lot of black and red. Not this shade of red. Tend to be darker, like garnet.
Yeah, they use the bright red color.
It's very striking.
So this is just shooter stuff, so I'll skip that.
But it's very like Hot Wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it was in the show? It had red like that? I guess so.
Okay. Yeah, all right, so it's done. All of the rest is basically how you can rebuild it to remove the shooters from the top. So it has shooters, and it comes with extra pieces. So if you don't want the shooters on there, you can swap them out. So it just looks a little bit smoother. But I like Lego sets to be toys, so I'm gonna leave it with the shooters on the front.
Fun. Anne says, hey, I had a lot of Nitpicker's Guide to Star Trek in high school. I know of these things. And Michael Caine says, I had an illustrated guide to the Star Wars universe as a kid that I read dozens of times.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yeah, I've been working on collecting a bunch of those
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars books that I used to read as a kid.
Yeah, those are so much fun. I think we've talked about them before, like the vehicle cross section books
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
and all that jazz.
great
Tons
stuff.
of fun.
Mm-hmm.
See, you know, I am such a sucker for stuff like that. You know, it's just that kind of pure, imaginative, you know, spirited stuff.
Yeah, so here it is. Basically, there's a couple stickers that go on the side, on the front, and then here on the fins. But I mean, it looks great without the stickers, honestly. And
It does.
nice little details like the phone in there. There's a trunk that opens up. There's nothing really to put in the trunk, but it has a little trunk. Nice
You can
little,
put the Joker in the trunk.
yeah, nice little bat symbols on the wheels, little rubber tires. It's great.
The government deserves to be overthrown for the mere fact that we can no longer have fins on our cars. So cool. So cool. Our cars look so lame now.
No, that's a really spiffy looking set, and it's like perfectly sized too, because like it
Yep.
fit the figures, and but like it fits in your hand pretty easily. It's like great. What a
Yep.
nice.
Yeah, I love Lego vehicles for that reason. Usually they're, you know, it's like you can't scale things exactly because they would be too small. But there's a little bit of flexibility in the scale of Legos because their heads are bigger than their bodies.
Hmm.
So, it scales nice, fits nice in your hands. A set that you can put together in 2 hours. Great fun.
Yeah, that's great. Looks sleek.
Mm-hmm. I probably will put the stickers on this a bit later, but I think it looks really good as is.
Michael Caine says, "I've never had revolutionary thoughts for that particular regulation, but you do you, Katie." And says, "Fins for freedom."
This is the political party of the future. This is the new movement for our time. Put fins back on cars.
They just have to look cool. I should be allowed to own a cool looking car. It's going to become the Lego Joker. All right. Well,
All right.
that's both of us
Yep.
at a stopping point.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for joining us and for talking fast food and fantasy food and everything else that we've touched on. It's a good time.
Thanks for coming, Free Narnian.
Thank you for having me.
We'll do this again soon. I still have a lot of set to go. So.
Yep, and I've got another Batmobile. And we haven't bought the next big set that we'll build, but we've got ideas.
Mhm.
So that'll probably happen soon. Something coming up though is I got a shipping notification and the Cyberfrog action figures are on their way. So sometime soon, probably it'll be like next Monday or next week sometime, or it could be this weekend. We're gonna do a big action figure stream. So we're gonna unbox those. We're gonna compare them to our different action figures that we have. Talk about action figures. So
yeah,
that should be a fun time.
That sounds great.
Yeah, we've been kind of getting into action figures lately because there were things that we both collected in Lego, and those things have kind of fallen off a little bit.
Mhm.
So we've both been enjoying action figures for the past year and a half or so, and we've built up kind of nice collections. So
yeah.
I've heard that the Cyberfrog action figures are really, really good. They compare very well to just about anything that's on the market.
Nice.
So I want to get out a bunch of stuff and compare. So that'll be fun.
Oh, that sounds like a fun one.
All right.
All right.
See.
Good night.
See ya.
Good night, everybody.